Well, good evening. Hi, Matt. Hi,
Hi.
Sarah.
Hey, Brian.
What are we doing here?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to what is becoming a month and a half of firsts. First time we've ever done an education class. I'm super excited and I'm super sad at the same time. I'm
Yeah.
super excited that we're actually able to get these tastings going again, these classes going again, but I'm super sad that we're not able to do them together.
Right.
But at least we're able to do this virtually together. So that makes me really happy.
We miss our
the other,
people.
what's that?
We miss our people.
We certainly do. The other thing that I'm
Some
super
of
happy
them.
about, well, most of them. The other thing I'm super happy
know who you
about
are.
is that we are able to, those of you who've been following us the last month or so, I think it was the second or third episode that we did, that we actually had that day that we were down, and then we built that cellar down in the basement.
I went down and
we
I
had-
got those
You
1998s.
probably remember that. We're excited because we're actually coming to you from the basement of WineStyles in our new wine cellar. So
Yes.
we're super excited about that tonight. So we're able to come to you from there, and maybe we'll give you a tour of that a little bit later. But super excited about that.
It took us
So-
a while to dig this out.
Oh
you
man,
know.
man. Well, it was kind of like Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
where we
it
had to
was,
find
yeah.
a place to put all the dirt.
It's a good thing I had some Masons in my family,
Yeah.
so we're in good shape.
Yeah. So
yeah.
well, let's get right to it. We're gonna talk Old World, New World. So as you recall, part of the education series is once a quarter we did Old World, New World. The first one we did was, remind me because I'm forgetful.
Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
Chardonnay, Pinot Noir. Tonight we're doing Viognier and Syrah. Probably, arguably, two of my favorite varietals. Love Syrah, love Viognier. So we're going to talk about wines from Australia,
Yes.
wines from France, and wines from Washington State. So that's going to be super exciting. What am I missing?
I don't think you're
Anything?
missing anything.
All right.
So,
So we're going to make this interactive too. Hopefully everyone got their sample kits home.
they didn't fall apart. Yeah.
Bear with us. We're going to get better at that. We're looking at some other
Yeah.
containers depending on how long this pandemic lasts. So we're looking at some different things. But hopefully everyone was able to get their containers home, got the glasses out, and you got your bunny slippers on. And
Yeah.
what are you laughing about?
Jen.
Jen?
She just called me liar pants on fire.
Figured you guys were pre-gaming, so we decided to go pre-gaming
Yeah.
too.
So go ahead and hammer
missed that
down
memo.
what you started with.
I missed that memo.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yep. You want
I
me to
know.
get you
I
something?
know a few of you have it
Okay.
because you came in and bought them from me this afternoon,
Yeah.
and some of you bought more than one pregame bottle. So try and stay awake through the end of this.
Pre-game,
So we
post-game?
filled almost 400 of those little sample guys this morning.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, 400. Andrea and I and Matt and Sarah came in and helped out a little bit too. So let's. I think we what? It just.
It was you guys. I didn't do anything.
You looked good though.
Yeah.
You looked good standing
Yeah.
there watching me.
I did. Yeah, I was sleeping with my eyes open.
Why don't we bring up the first slide?
Yeah. Can,
And we'll get talking about. Careful, you're talking about looking down at the.
Yeah.
You want me to hold it up for you?
You can if you stand right there, though. I don't know. Then they just see your backside the whole time.
It's okay.
I mean, you guys
I've got-
can.
we've got a nice-
actually, I mean,
I've
we've
got
got the
a-
little feed right here that I'm watching.
I've
So
got a
if,
nice backside.
if anybody wants to only watch Brian's backside for this entire class,
Oh
we can
wow!
do that.
Good comments are going to
So-
start coming in
so-
for that one.
Oh, there's 4 yeses from Andrea. It looks like. So yeah, let's roll on through. This does count towards your tasting stamps on all of your education classes. So all 60 of you out there, if you are frequent visitors to our classes, we will stamp those for you as well towards your tasting at the end of the year. And I know you're waiting, so let's go ahead and move into this first wine, the Hermit Crab Viognier from Australia. Oh yeah, I forgot about that slide.
That's all right. That happens to us.
It does, yes. Bear with us. We're learning, and I'm not good at things, so it will be okay.
I'm not good at words.
So his first one, Hermit Crab Viognier from Derenburg. Derenburg holds a kind of place in my heart, as I think it does Brian
Yep.
as well. One of the first wineries that I went to in Australia when I was traveling was Derenburg, and went there with the wee Scottish guy. He was literally about 90 pounds and about 5'1". The wines were fantastic, but I didn't know any better at the time because that was a dozen years ago. All I knew is that I was drinking good wine in Australia, and I was not at work. This guy's
When you
got a
started
little
that?
bit of Marsanne in it here. Well, it was before I worked here.
Oh,
so,
good.
I mean, I must have had a premonition or something. And if any of you are drinking at home, like I said, I've got the comments here that can just run up. We will do some question and answer here in a little bit. So if you do have questions, feed them through. And our erstwhile staff here behind the camera will feed them to us
What
as
did
we
you
go
say?
through them.
Erstwhile?
Erstwhile.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there
Big
will not
words.
be. Yeah, those
Big
big words
words.
will not
They're
come
fine.
out later as we start working through these wines. So yeah, since the comments can roll through, I mean, what are you guys smelling? What are you tasting? Let's treat this like a regular class.
Like would if
Yeah.
you're here.
And that's fine if you want to make up something goofy too, because God knows we always need a laugh, especially in one of these classes. So
I kind of like the fact that we don't have anybody that can heckle Brian. Wait, that's me.
That's your job.
That's-
That's why we brought.
Yes.
that's why we brought a third
That's why we
person on.
brought you in to heckle me. Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Hey, I have a purpose in life.
What? I don't know as if I would call that a purpose.
Aim high, Sarah. Aim high.
Yeah.
Hey,
Reach for the lowest star because that's the one within reach. So it's a motto I live by.
So this comes from one of our partners for years, Old Bridge Cellars. They're the supplier of this wine, and I'm always happy to pour their wine because they're such. Our wine club wines for April are from
So
here.
he said they're tasting cotton candy on this wine.
Oh, I like
Yeah, I'll
that.
give you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little bit of fruit on it. It almost kind of smells like that too if you were standing outside of a cotton candy maker.
I
or
always get
maker.
that
Would it be a
circus-
cotton candy maker or would it be would I just say a
Cotton candy person,
or a carny?
Carney. Cotton candy. Carney.
we don't care if it's
Carney.
politically
So-
correct or not. It's
so-
carny.
It's
Alex
carny.
says clean
Yeah.
cut grass, and Amy Benjamin said, I was told to say this wine was smooth.
Yeah, that's.
Thanks
yeah.
a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate
That's
that.
But I always
I
get
get some good
that
acidity on
cotton
it.
candy thing. I always get it. I always kind of compare it to like circus peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
I always use that analogy, whether it's right or wrong. But I always get that kind of that little those little spongy
Yeah.
guys. you
We
had
should bring
in
in some circus peanuts
We're
for a
going
class
to.
sometime.
Well, throw
Absolutely,
circus
we're
peanuts
going
at
to.
you.
They still sell
Yeah.
those.
Yes, they do.
So this has what 16% Marsanne in it. Truly, you guys all should have your tasting notes at home. These tech sheets, so you can follow along with us.
Alex.
We got some people giggling on the outside, so someone's making good comments.
Right.
So the Marsanne that's in there, Marsanne is also traditionally grown in the Rhone Valley. They use it as a blending grape normally. This is going to be used to give even more texture to what is a very textural grape of Viognier. Marsanne also can add a little more of that fruit punch that comes popping out of it. So that may be where you're getting a hint of that cotton candy, a little bit of that circus peanut that's coming out, a little more aromatic.
A little petrol too.
Yeah. But Viognier in and of itself is one of my favorite grapes, as we talked about a little bit earlier. It gives you all that texture, but without the butteriness that you get from Chardonnay. It's big, it's lush.
It's kind of oily.
Yeah.
You know, it's got that viscosity that you were
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Great with.
What are you
It's
getting out
actually-
of that?
This one's a little lighter. I like the acidity of it. It's not overly acidic, but at
Yeah.
the same time, that Marsanne actually
Yeah.
brings out some great flavor to it.
Yeah. You guys want to see something cool? We have some, like I said, the folks behind the camera. So it's like magic with that little screen. I can just wave my hand across,
in this line.
and it's like swiping left. Yeah.
We
It's
tried.
like Tinder for wine. You can just swipe to the next slide. See, look at that. We're gonna get good at that.
Is
So-
it swipe left or swipe right?
Well,
which,
it doesn't
which
matter.
is good or
Some
bad?
slides of
Yeah.
the vineyard. Do you have some?
Of this vineyard, no. Of
Oh, when you get to the Magpie.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right.
Or no, I've got some slides of us.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I like
that,
those.
That could be that. So Viognier, it does have some acidity to it. That texture, you're probably kind of, if you're swishing around your mouth, you know, truly, if you haven't already chugged all of the wines and you're just drinking some scotch or something as you watch us, you know, you can get that texture and it kind of coats your mouth just a little bit.
I'm back.
You're back already. So, but yeah, Viognier gives you that, and the apricots in it, I think, are my favorite thing because I'm kind of a fiend for apricots.
I get more of that apricot flavor in here.
Yeah.
Do you need a dump
So we can swipe over one more time here. Ooh, we've got a picture behind and more pictures. There we go. There's the background.
Yeah, that is actually the Rubik's Cube, the new winery at Deerenberg that we teleported to.
So we've got just a little bit of info on Deerenberg there up on the screen. I'm not going to run through it because all of you know that I prefer not to just read to you guys. I prefer to drink and let you read.
Yeah.
It seems to work better both for me and my intoxication. But one thing to note, though, as you scan down and look at the bottom there, this winery has been named, an Australian winery of the year at least 3, if not 4 times. They've had some wines of the year. One of my absolute favorite wines in the world is a Shiraz they make called the Dead Arm Shiraz, which we've had in the shop before. But down there you will see that the winery is now run by Chester Osborne. If we go to, I guess the screen you're seeing right now, a much younger me. That was only a year ago, actually.
Wow, that's amazing.
Once I took over the store, I just kind of started aging.
Went into the share.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
So, I think so.
Jen just said baby Matt.
What's that?
Jen just said baby Matt.
Baby Matt, yeah. Yeah, I think they can say a lot of things on Facebook.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff being said on Facebook lately.
So that's me, tasting there. Now if you switch to the next slide here, we will see Brian and Andrea with the winemaker.
Yeah, that is at Food and Wine, Aspen Food and Wine. I can't remember how many years ago that was, but this guy is a nut. I mean, he just is. He's a crazy man. We actually did a class years ago where he. Did we tape that? Was that what that was? I think we videotaped
He
that.
was there for his 100th
Well, no, I know that, but when we did that class, we did something like this, and we had him narrate the class. I think it was. I remember that.
That voice you're hearing, we have a brand new technology that allows us to hear the voices in Brian's head. So,
It's a cool technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
His voice of reason.
Yeah. It's my voice of reason.
Better half.
Or the better half. Or worse half, whichever day it is.
Well, since I'm behind here, I suppose we can move on to the next wine.
Well, we have to keep up with you after
Rick,
last
Amy,
week.
this one figure you guys would like.
This is in your.
Yeah, you can tell me
I like
this
the
one's
nose on
smooth
this
as
one.
well.
Wow.
You want more?
Off camera.
So we do have somewhat pronunciation fun with Matt. It's definitely a lot more fun when everybody's in the class and we can get a little tipsy and enjoy speaking other languages. And let's face it, once we start drinking, a lot of these names end up seeming like they're other languages. This winery is pronounced Illahee. Illahee is in the Willamette Valley in Oregon. They are well known for their Pinot Noir. We do have some rosé made from Tempranillo here in the store, along with the Capital Fizz we had at the virtual happy hour last weekend. It felt like a whole weekend that we were here.
Oh, baby. Tell you what.
But in Pacific Northwest, many of the varietals that grow well in central France also grow well there. The climate, the latitude is the same. As you can see, our transporter has worked very well. We now have, I think this is Mount Jefferson in the background. I don't think it's Mount Hood.
No, it's Mount Jefferson.
Mount Jefferson? Wow, I've only been there a couple of times. And
Yeah.
that was the only 2 mountains I knew.
Temperature
So,
changed a little bit. It got a little
yeah.
more chilly now
Yeah.
where we're at.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
tad. So I don't know where to go with that. After that.
I don't
So-
either. Lovely, a lot of stone fruit on this.
Yes,
Stone fruit would be
agreed.
would be apricot, would be peach, and I get a ton of peach on this.
I definitely get a lot of
It's,
peach on this one, yeah.
Kind of a candied peach as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah,
And the
and
You know,
nose
with the
just
syrup,
really-
like
it
if you
really
when you were
comes
a kid
out.
and you had
the invite
peaches.
syrup.
Yeah,
Very
seriously.
important.
I mean, you kind of
yeah.
get a little
Yep.
of that syrupy thing going on, but in a good way. Not like when I'd pour that over cottage cheese when I was a kid. Anyone else do that? Nah, it's just me.
So this winery, they are incredibly hands-off, which is very difficult to be with Viognier. Viognier is kind of a fickle grape, a little bit temperamental. Illahee, not only do they not use enzymes or additives, many of their wines are handmade. And when I say handmade, I mean truly, hand-picked, wood basket pressed. They even have a cart pulled by horses that goes through their vineyards. So they make many of their wines without any use of electricity whatsoever.
Wow.
What they want is for their wines to completely exhibit both the varietal as well as the terroir, or the climate, the sense of place, the earth, and in truth, that's what the name means, Ilihi. I believe in scanning my old Chinook language since I speak it. It is a word for soil or earth or place. It's just a fantastic winery. They don't have a ton of wines they make, but the ones they do put out are quality.
Yeah. That rosé they make is quite nice too. I'm going to guess it's Pinot Noir.
And got a picture up right now of one of their vineyards. Many of you I know have been out to Oregon. I would highly recommend just going out and spending some time in the Willamette Valley. You can fly into Portland when we can fly again. You can rent a car when we can rent cars again, and drive down there and go to tasting rooms when tasting rooms are once again open. But until then, just come and hang out with us and drink at home. You can even
come hang out with us and drink at home.
Yeah. Maybe one of these times we'll solicit pictures from your travels and we'll just put them up on the screen behind us.
I like that idea a lot.
We can just enjoy where you've been, and
that's a great idea.
Yeah, just
take a note of that.
Yeah. So
grabbing pictures
we'll
of
talk
their
later.
travels.
Yeah.
Leanne said that apricot is spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So, as I mentioned earlier, and we talked about this a little bit, you get that apricot, that's a hallmark of it. But it's a temperamental grape. They grow in they're very small grapes. They grow in tight bunches. They have a tendency to, if you don't pick them at the right time, they become overripe. It's hard to vinify because you have to pick them when they're very, very ripe. Otherwise, they can be very astringent. It's one of the difficulties of working with Viognier. You can make sweet wines out of it. Some of the best sweet wine I've had are late harvest Viogniers got one out of a winery that's not there anymore in Napa Valley. Vanderheyden Vineyards, if anybody that knows it is watching. That being said, Viognier I think can be some of the most elegant wine to drink, and drink it young. It ages a little bit, but I wouldn't necessarily say just drink it fresh.
Next one we're gonna have has a little bit of ageability to it.
Yep,
for the most part, definitely. So what's everybody getting on here? I heard apricot from Luann. What else?
Bright nose.
Yep.
Smooth, quite refreshing.
Little salmon on the grill with this.
Oh, it would be fantastic.
I like to soak a plank,
Cedar plank?
cedar plank, and then put that bad boy on there with some of this. I'd probably drink the bottle before we got to the salmon, but
That's why you buy two bottles.
Right.
From your friendly neighborhood wine merchant. Either way.
Yeah.
all of them.
Right.
While we've got a little bit of a lull here and we're sipping, let's answer some questions. They don't have to be about wine, but then again, I also don't have to answer them. So
If we don't know the answer,
Yeah,
as
be
always,
careful
we'll probably
what you
make
ask for
something
there.
up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I do like this.
Anybody have questions?
Did you say you're Willamette?
Willamette, damn it. Yeah.
I sort of said it for him.
Yeah, anybody will tell you that's from that area, or anybody that decides they want to just correct your grammar, and we know those people out there.
Yeah.
If you say Willamette, they will say it's Willamette, damn it. So I was trying to come up with something with Ilihi right there, but I just didn't have it there. So at least nothing that I even want to test Facebook with as far as wording goes. Any questions coming through yet on there? No, nothing. Wow,
Well,
I'm
you
doing
guys
a
are
better
all
job
drunk.
than I thought.
Wow. Answering all the questions,
Yeah.
or we've lost everybody already,
Horse drawing.
which is highly possible.
I like that idea.
Nicole's on 6th or 7th when I told her she wasn't supposed to drink her husband's.
Yeah, let's hope everyone
Yeah.
isn't on the Reds yet.
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
Yeah.
stay with us for Pete's sakes.
Yeah.
That's what the pre-sell is for, to order them and bring
Fair
them back
enough.
in, right?
So we should have, basically 60 of you out there. Or maybe 425 or 45. 45. Okay, I feel better about that now. It was basically just.
Well, yeah,
Four
you
or
figure,
five of ya,
Well,
yeah.
you figure 45. Really, technically, we could have 30 out there because a lot of them are couples.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we've been watching. Yeah.
But 45 is a nice number too. See how I did math there? Sometimes
I do know that some of you are watching at a socially, distant chairs and in houses together. So hi Gary, hi Kim, Jenna, Dwayne. Appreciate you guys joining us for the evening. Yes, I would think if chickens had lips, Jared, they could whistle. Just hypothetically, I mean, as long as we're going, out there, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes the crazy train.
But
There we go.
they couldn't necessarily whistle because they had lips, because there are a lot of people with lips.
Yeah,
that
there's
can't
a lot of
whistle
people
either.
that- exactly.
So
Yep.
I don't think that's the signature
And who
of
would
whistling.
teach them how to whistle?
And-
Because they can't
Do
talk.
chickens have tongues? Because you kind of need that for.
I think
Yeah.
I think chickens have tongues.
But if you put a kazoo in there, you could.
Yeah.
Brian, who will the Bears draft? So who's the wide receiver? Or don't they
You know,
always
this is a
draft wide
question-
receivers?
This is a question for
So-
my boys. I
Yeah.
just like watching football, but evidently we're getting a new quarterback, I guess, or something. I don't know. Oh, that's right. The draft is coming up, isn't it? That's at 8:00. So we need to make sure that we're cognizant of
Thank
that
you very
for
much.
everybody with the 8:00 virtual draft that's going on,
Yeah.
right?
Oh wow, you notice the difference in the color on this one for sure. So you got a little bit more of that straw color on this one.
We are now
Yeah.
transitioning into quintessential
Yeah.
Viognier.
Yeah, this one I
This
ordered without
is-
Brian's approval. It kind of just
It's
showed
a
up.
I think it
Wow.
showed up and I said, why is this here? Pretty much.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah, that
Screw
was.
Like you're gonna say no, I won't drink it.
Yeah, I think I was talking to
I don't know
Melissa
how
when
you
she
could-
came in the other day, and I said, "You're gonna like the wines." I dug out something I normally wouldn't, and she says, "I feel like you say that at every tasting," and I do because I do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Brian's happy at all these tastings because he's every bit as surprised as you guys are at what we're pouring.
Yeah,
You
until I
got
have to pay the
which
bills.
Yeah.
wine?
So take a look at the terroir we're in now that we've transitioned to, and I
Very
think that's definitely one of the reasons why this wine is so expensive. It is difficult to cultivate, difficult to grow in, but you can see. What are you doing?
There we go.
How does this work, by the way? I always want to be a
So-
meteorologist.
So no, I mean that's my arm was getting tired, so.
You
how
just
you
put it
doing?
right up there. How
Yeah.
you doing? Yeah.
Somebody wants to know why your samples look bigger than the ones they got home.
The camera adds 10 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. The camera does
Yeah,
add
10
ounces.
ounces, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
This is actually only half an ounce,
Yeah, they're very small glasses.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say yeah.
and I have
we-
very big hands.
Yeah, it comes in
Oh,
pints.
oh, buddy.
So.
Don't. What? You always do that.
No. We could go a completely different tangent on that one, and I'm not going to.
Whatever. Gary, I saw your hair today, so let's not go down that road, okay? Hoffman.
Oh. Ooh. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very
So-
different.
So this is that one that I think. Remember my philosophy.
Yeah.
This is that one that actually will just as it warm. You could drink this at basically cellar temperature.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
Yeah.
a bunch of honeysuckle and
Definitely, yes.
it's
That's,
it's
that is
candied.
definitely one flavor I got on
Yeah,
this one.
it's. What's the camera crew think of this
Tickled
one?
that wrong. Yeah.
Well, you get a little
Yeah.
bit of pepper on the back
So
end.
Matt,
Yeah,
Matt
like a
does
white
talk.
pepper.
Yeah,
Matt
white pepper
talks
on the back
about
end.
most of these shouldn't be cellared. This one, I think, will the complexity will change.
Yeah, absolutely.
As it gets a little older. So
Yeah, this is from a region
Pepper.
called Condrieu in the northern Rhone. Pardon me, I'm hiccuping
Pardon
here
me.
because I'm drinking.
You're
So
pretty.
the northern Rhone,
Really pretty.
we can bring that map back up because it's not a presentation with me without a map.
Yeah.
So I got
Maps
the
with map.
Condrieu circled there. This is an all-white varietal. You can only grow Viognier in Condrieu. Well, I reckon you could grow something else there, but you can't call it Condrieu.
Yeah.
At one time, there were basically about, 30 acres of Viognier planted in the entire world. That's it, back in the 60s. It was a widely planted grape before phylloxera. Phylloxera, as many of you know, have come to our classes. Oh, that's what I should have done, gotten a little bug and put it up big behind us here.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, next time.
Next time.
Next
Yeah.
time it'll be
Relax,
more
right?
about bugs
Yeah.
and pest
Yeah.
control.
So it almost got wiped out of existence in the 60s. As I said, there was only about 30 acres in the entire world planted to it, and 8 of those were in Condrieu. You fast forward to the 80s, and there was still only maybe 70 acres planted. There was not much at all. It was being made into some really good wine, but there wasn't an appetite for it around the world. And traditionally, this was vinified a little sweeter because when you get Viognier that's very ripe and you have to have it ripe, there's a lot of sugar in there, and it is hard to ferment all of that sugar out of it. So you get this real round textured sweetness to it. But you move into the 90s when a lot of these places in the world that traditionally had great wine production and had fallen off, there was this resurgence, partially because of the market had opened back up. People were interested in wines, but also because you had winemakers of means, people who could afford to experiment with it and have lower yields on the crops. Condrieu itself seems very small, with only about 700 acres, maybe 750 planted to Viognier. But there is another region right next to it called Chateau Gruyère, which is one winery. It's just one estate. That's all it is. I believe it's owned by Chateau Latour now.
How come we don't have that?
Because we haven't talked with Martin recently, because he
okay.
had that connection there.
Yep.
But Chateau Gruyère is a style that can age even longer. They make it a little more robust, not quite as fruit forward right out of the bottle. And that's enough talking. I need to drink now.
Okay.
So
This one changes every time I go to take a sniff of the nose on it.
So as I always like to ask the group, and I get a response, but I'm not going to get a response tonight because you're not here. What's everyone think of this wine? What's the group think? Let's hear from you.
does anybody get just a hint of breadiness off of this?
Yeah.
Because it's been aged on the lees,
Yeah.
those little dead yeast cells, the way they do champagne, that
Yeah.
kind of gives it that texture and richness. That's what this wine's done as well.
This one and the last one will probably be my two favorite.
I would have to agree with you on that one.
That is amazing.
Yeah, there are worse ways to spend your day.
Yeah,
Sitting on the pat.
There's worse ways to spend your Thursday, even if it is virtual.
Today's Thursday.
What day is it?
Yeah, exactly.
We have a question from the
Oh,
chat
yeah.
Oh yeah.
gallery. Ariel is wanting to,
Yeah.
has a question for Sarah. Can she bring home a whole bottle of this
Yeah.
one?
This one?
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well,
Yeah.
you do realize, my dear, that this is a smaller bottle, and
Yeah.
there's a reason it's a smaller bottle.
Well, no.
Oh, we have
no,
the
no.
large ones.
We have the large ones.
Yeah.
We're just. Oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
yeah.
Sorry.
It'll be an empty bottle,
Yeah, it'll be an
and she'll
empty
have
bottle,
put
yeah.
some
Yeah.
nitrate into it. Nitrate makes
Oh.
white wine, right?
Oh,
They
Yeah.
make a Viognier
Oh,
that's
goodness.
delicious.
So-
Nitrate Viognier. Look it up.
Rachel's getting a little brioche on this one.
That's what we
Oh
say.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've
the
got
breadiness, yeah.
we've got
Cheese
2
and the
thumbs
oats are
up.
Awesome on this
We've
one.
got
Jared.
fabulous. Glad to help. Oh, Jared. Yeah, everyone. Oh, brioche.
brioche.
Nice. So
You guys are learning.
we are.
I'm so
Look
proud
at that.
right now.
Aw.
I'm proud.
These big
Proud.
kids.
Look, excuse me for a second. A little verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves.
Feels like there's a copyright infringement on that.
Okay, I
I'll
gotta
give you-
see if larger
yeah,
I'll
image.
give you a top.
Just like there will be when we put the Tron background up
yeah,
here.
exactly. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah,
going
that'll
on.
be after we've
Yeah.
had a lot more wine
Yeah.
and maybe some edibles. So
Wow. Edibles.
yes,
Nice.
edible wine.
Edible wine.
Oh.
Yep. So-
So Ariel, Jen says she wants in on that. So apparently we're gonna
Yeah,
have to
there
have a
we go.
girls' night. So
She said she'd like 4 bottles.
Ariel,
We're there.
my dear,
Nice.
you're gonna
Nice
have to
job,
start
Brian.
bringing home
Nice
some more of the
job.
bacon.
Oh, technology.
Well
Ain't it
done.
fun?
Yeah.
All
And I don't.
right,
what's
so I
that?
need
Is the next
that
one
bottle of
another overhead
Magpie,
shot?
please.
So,
That's
yeah.
the last one. The Magpie's all the way on the right.
So as you can see,
Come on,
hand
woman.
harvesting here is essential. You can't really run a tractor down through.
Is this the time this?
What's that? Well, yeah.
No, well, hold on.
Hold it.
Hold on.
Hold
Oh,
on.
you're gonna
Not-
throw that.
Hold on. Are we ready?
I'm gonna need a ruling from the husband. Can she throw that to
No.
me right now?
She needs to be standing right about there. No.
Definitely
Come
not a
on over.
frisbee.
Okay.
Throw it in.
So. There we go.
Okay.
Go.
So we are gonna go back to Australia.
Good day, mate. How'd that sound? Good?
Not bad.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
So, oh yeah, that is not Australia that we're looking at right now. But I have worn my hat in that region of the world. So.
I don't know if we have one from Australia, Brian.
Oh yeah, we do. We got the kangaroos.
Oh, the kangaroos.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ruse.
Kangaroos.
So this is the guy that this hat is made out of. It's actually a kangaroo hat.
He was delicious.
Yeah. I told you guys last week that
no,
I would
I
bring
didn't
this
hear
in.
that.
What's that?
Don't talk about.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, don't eat camel either. It's not
Oh.
good. I had a camel burrito once.
You ever had camel cheese?
What's that?
Camel cheese?
I have not.
I've got
There's
it.
got to be a distributor. So,
Kangaroo behind him.
so yeah. So I call him Skippy.
Oh, hi, baby. Look
That's
at him.
Skippy.
There we go.
Yeah.
There's
Hi,
a
Skippy.
kangaroo right behind you, over your left shoulder, Matt.
Do not ever screw with kangaroos.
Mm.
They are tough, they are mean, and they are faster than you think they're going to be. Like straight up, like they are not to be trifled with.
I'm
And
not gonna ever try and do that.
yeah, I mean, if you think hitting a deer, is kind of the worst thing you're going to hit. I'd rather hit a deer than a moose.
Oh.
But I'd rather hit probably a deer than a kangaroo because that kangaroo might just stand there and try to win.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, they are dangerous things.
They're so
So-
cute.
Moving on
To
to
the
a
reds.
little Shiraz Viognier,
Oh, David.
and we get hopefully we get a little eucalyptus on this on the nose here. Not a ton, but there's definitely
Yep.
some. Let me.
Kind of that
me
minty
some of that.
mentholiness.
Yep. Getting that kind of that spearmint thing.
Oh yeah.
You should be getting that.
They call it a laughing magpie. The laughing magpie is you can see, I think, on the tasting notes, is a reference to the kookaburra.
Yep.
I won't sing the whole
No,
kookaburra
please
song.
don't. Please don't do that.
You won't ever get it out of your head.
Kookaburra sits on the old gum tree, Mary, Mary, king of the bushes. He. No? Okay.
Too much? Too
Yeah.
soon?
No, just right.
Just,
So,
just
right.
right.
yeah. The universe deemed it.
So
I did it.
everybody getting that spearmint, kind of that eucalyptus,
Yep.
definitely.
Yeah.
So the Viognier is there for what? Why did they put the Viognier in there?
They ran out of Shiraz.
We can only put 94%. We're gonna have
Yeah.
to find something.
Yeah. So this is a tradition that goes back to the Rhone Valley of mixing and blending just a little bit of Viognier in with the Syrah. It gives it a little bit of that fruitiness, kind of that spicy apricot, and also some texture, and a little peach comes out of it at times. But strangely enough, it also adds color. When you get it in the Rhone Valley, and they put maybe 4 or 5% Viognier into it, which is what they legally can do, it makes the wine shimmer. It enrichens the color, so it makes it pretty cool.
Well, you win. I told you to use the word shimmer in a sentence tonight,
Yeah.
and you did it. So nicely
Yeah.
done.
You're welcome.
Nicely done.
Kinda like
I
jazz
didn't think
hands?
you could do it. Proud of you.
I
But
can
you
use a
did
lot
use-
of words.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh man.
you
Yeah,
start
this
to
one
get some
definitely
of
has
that-
more tannin to it
You
though.
get that eucalyptus in there too.
Oh, no doubt.
I get the eucalyptus.
So what's
on
everybody
those.
get?
But I'm definitely getting some tannin on this one. I mean,
Someone said, "Oh my, yes."
Yeah, this
That
is
may
nice.
be because you bought 4 bottles from me before you left here today.
This is a nice. This is a nice wine. You almost get a little sage. Definitely get a little sage.
yeah. On the back end on this one, I get a little bit more of that on the back end.
A little tarragon. I'm going to stretch to this man too. A
Oh.
little bit of tarragon. Yep.
Look
A
at
little
you.
phenolic lift.
Yep.
So I know a lot of people are club
That's that
members
kind of
and have
that-
been to a
that
lot of these
licorice thing
classes.
going on.
We do
Stop.
have some new folks on there, so
It's
can
Jen.
you talk about why you're swirling it and why you guys were smelling it like that?
I have a nervous habit. I really I do that because I was told to.
Yeah.
No, we're oxygenating the wine. So just kind of swirl it up a little bit. You don't have to hold it in the air. Just practice while it's here. And what that does is put some oxygen into it. Well, in this time, maybe we shouldn't be touching the top
Oh,
of the
that's
glass.
true. Well, but it's your own hand,
Yeah.
Well,
and your
right?
own glass.
Yeah,
your own glass.
But you're not supposed to touch your face though.
yeah.
Yeah, just
Don't
don't touch your
touch
face.
But if there's an intermediary, it's okay, right? This is not medical advice. So,
What?
you know,
Intermediary.
yeah, these came from
For what?
from Dave. So,
Oh.
Somebody's asking
what is a
tannin
tannin?
is.
Okay. A tannin. Tannins are found in the skins and the stems and the seeds. Tannins are what make your mouth dry out. So if you are, you get a very high tannic wine, tannins bond with the proteins in your saliva and strip them away. So it's like you have cotton mouth. So if you've ever been at the dentist and they take that little air gun and just spray it, that's what tannins are causing. So if you come into the shop and you ask, Syrah or me or Brian and say, I'd like a highly tannic wine, we're going to give you something that's going to yank the gums back off your teeth. Like truly, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a lick in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Tannin is about texture. It's not so much about taste.
Right.
While it does kind of mimic a bitterness that you'll get, maybe an astringency in your mouth, it does not necessarily impart that
No
flavor.
other flavor
Yeah.
necessarily.
A
And-
little bit of bitter. But
And you generally get it in the center of
Kind
your
of a
tongue.
leathery thing going on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of how dry leather is.
Or if you've ever had medication that dries you out and you're just like all the
Yes.
time.
Yeah. And you're heavily medicated all the time, so.
Well, all of most of the time. So
Legally or
but-
Does everybody like this
that
wine?
everybody knows.
Happy, not happy?
Mhm.
David, are you happy?
No.
A couple comments want you to have a hat on because you're whining.
I don't know that how much no,
I
not
think-
her.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
think me.
I don't know. How's my hair look?
I,
How
you
much
know,
is-
my grays are starting to come out a little bit.
Peanut gallery.
Yeah, that's kind of hurtful. At least I can get a haircut right now, everybody.
So
Cut my
there.
own damn hair. You know who you are.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. Cut my own hair this morning.
Yeah.
What do I look?
You look good.
Look good?
Yeah, we should play that game where there's a morning show that I like listening to where they have pictures or specific celebrities, and you write in, what do they look like? Oh, that guy looks like the person who sings "Happy Birthday to America" on the 4th of July and makes his kids do it too. So what do we each look like wearing that hat?
Oh, I don't know if I
You know.
want to do this game.
Yeah.
I don't want to play
Yeah.
this game. I don't want to play.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we should bring it
Like
back.
the- like
bring,
the-
it back
yeah.
bring it back to
Looks
the
like
class.
a vineyard manager who's all hat, no cattle. Like you don't actually have a vineyard.
I just showed up.
You have a lot of fake
You just
grapes
pretend.
from a table.
You
Like
just
you took
pretend.
it out of the
Yeah.
bowl, like the
Plastic.
wax
Yeah,
grapes,
I like that.
and you hang them outside on your clothesline.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
Is that me?
Yeah.
All right. And once, as it always happens, we've lost everybody.
Crazy train.
Oh my lord.
Oh.
Well, at least we're having fun. We're having some fun. All right. So what else you got on the slides there, big guy?
Oh, Syrah, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're drinking.
Yeah, that's what we're drinking.
Yeah. So
Mine's almost gone.
Syrah, even more so than Viognier, it's going to exhibit different flavors in different parts of the world, especially with winemaking techniques. If you get it from France, a lot of times an old Syrah from the northern Rhone, well, a Syrah from the northern Rhone in general is made to age a little bit, so it may be lighter in color, but it's heavier. The Syrah itself is an old grape from that region. Native, they think, to France. It has parentage from two grapes you've never heard of and you don't want to hear of because you're here to drink and enjoy and learn a couple of tidbits you can tell a sommelier to impress them at a restaurant.
I'm kind of curious, actually.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know what they are.
Oh,
I do know what they are, but I've forgotten.
okay.
Yeah.
You knew at one point.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Right.
that's all that
But
matters.
Syrah from Australia, just wines from Australia, red wines in general, you're going to get that eucalyptus. Syrah, which they call Shiraz in Australia, because, and I feel like I'm going to say this story now, and I've been saying it for years, and it's going to end up being wrong. Shiraz is, because all things are like that, but
Of course.
Shiraz itself is the Dutch name for the grape. And years ago, when settlers or prisoners of Her Majesty or ships carrying such were running around the Cape of Good Hope in Africa, South Africa, they would pick up wine and maybe grape cuttings, and that was a Dutch colony, so they'd call it Shiraz. And they took it to Australia. It was the last resupply point before they made their way across the Indian Ocean. So the name stuck, made its way over to Australia. So they call it Shiraz there.
Works for me. I'm
Same
believing
grape
it.
as Syrah.
I'm believing it.
Yeah, it seems good.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm
It works.
down with it.
Yeah.
And it's,
I'm going to repeat it now.
yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Taking that as my own story.
I'm on Facebook, so that's true.
Yes.
Right?
Everything you find on Facebook is true.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. But one of the hallmarks as well of Shiraz, especially old Shiraz in Australia, is blueberry. You do get a little blueberry in this. One of the reasons we brought this in was because it did have a couple of years age on it. I think it was a 2016, or no, 2014. So you do just get hints of that dark fruit that pops out.
Oh.
Next wine.
I love this wine too.
Thank you. Next.
This one makes me happy.
Ooh, like oh.
Yeah.
Which I believe is French for
The
cola.
School.
Oh, okay. That was
Come on.
Le Coca-Cola.
That's coca.
All right, so we're moving on
That's
to
cocaine.
Lake Cole, which is another.
It's a different thing.
Another
I'm sure
Washington
Lolena
Very
can
different.
correct us on that.
Yeah, I'm
so,
sure she will.
Yeah.
And we're actually at the estate right now. We're
Yes.
at the tasting room.
Yep.
So,
The old schoolhouse. that it's
unfortunately, the
named after.
tasting room is closed, so we have to stay outside, which is fine. I'm okay with that. It's a nice evening.
And some of you may say, Matt, you're cheating. This is only 70%, 77% Syrah. And I say to you, I wanted to drink this.
So go. Never mind.
Well, but it says Syrah on the label,
It is.
so we're fine.
Yep.
Because as long as it's
75%.
75%, you can call it Syrah. And it is from the Columbia Valley in Washington. Actually, Columbia Valley rolls over into Oregon as well. It's one of the largest full-on AVAs in the entire country. AVA, American Viticultural Association, just think of it as a designation. It's like a county. It's an area where wine is grown. Oh, see, go ahead.
What'd you
I
do?
love the nose on this one.
We'll just let Sarah sigh.
Yeah. No, it's
So what
it
is the
smells
varietal here? What's it?
fantastic.
77%
Yeah.
Syrah, and what else we got going on here? Do we have it?
Yeah, we've got some Mourvedre and
Oh, wow.
some Grenache in here
Oh.
too.
Also 2 French varietals.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Everybody like this one?
The nose is definitely more
Yeah.
fruity than the taste on it. It's
And no, Gary, this does not taste like quilt. That may be because you had quilt in your glass first.
Yeah. Nothing really tastes like quilt, does
Yeah.
it?
Or the bottle that you have in your left hand and of quilt and the
Yeah, in the
Just-
glass. Yeah.
take a palate cleanser, Gary.
This one's very floral.
Molina said this one is spicy.
Yeah, I give you spicy.
It's got the spicy on the back
little
end.
little white pepper.
For me, the first nose out of it was
A lot of
very
violet.
fruity.
violet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fruity.
Yeah.
It was very fruity the first nose. Now it's getting a little more complex. You get that pepper on the back end.
Yeah. That Grenache gives it a little bit of balance. So if we can go to that. Oh, yeah, we've got another. Smells delicious. Is that a question?
It's not. It's,
Okay.
Smells delicious? Question mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
If it's a question mark afterwards, it
Yeah.
is a question.
Apparently, this is good with chocolate chip cookies as well.
ooh.
So,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Ariel gets a little whiskiness to it.
Whiskey. Right on.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Apparently, the NFL draft is on, so please minimize that or put it on the TV.
I thought
in
it
the
started at
back.
8, or maybe
Yeah.
it's 8 Eastern time.
I'm thinking, wasn't it supposed to be in Vegas this year?
I don't know.
So the slide that you've got up right now just shows you the kind of the sweet spot latitude of growing many of these grapes. We're at the Rhone Valley. We've got Burgundy. We've got Southern Rhone, Bordeaux. All of these famous regions in France, and even when you get into Italy, northwestern Italy, Piedmont, you're at a similar latitude. So you have similar sun exposure. When you work your way into the United States, that falls in Oregon and Washington. That's why you find Pinot Noir. That's why you find Syrah, Viognier, Chardonnay that are being done in world-class fashion in that area of the world. And you can still get so much of it in such at such a great price. Now, some of them are, they're very proud of their wines there. A few of them come to mind, but I feel like if I say them now, it's going to be in a derogatory fashion. But they're excellent wines and very French in style. But you can get great value. Willamette Valley for Pinot Noir and Washington for Syrah. They're some of the best in the entire world.
This is super well balanced too.
Yeah, I like this one. It's not as tannic as the first one.
Oh no.
Definitely more easy drinking, but definitely some complexity to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there's more herbaceousness. I was going to say herbalness, and I figured
Herbaceous.
that
No, that's a good.
may as well
call.
slow down and
Yeah.
get it correct.
I like that.
It's good with Kit Kats as well.
And Skittles.
Yeah, that's one of our employees.
boy.
Yeah. Oh.
Good with Kit
Kit
Kats.
Kat. Yeah, I appreciate that. Keep those coming because I always need strange
Yeah.
things
Pairings?
to say when I talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kim, were you eating
milk
Kit Kat?
chocolate we're getting from Kyle, and some of that with the milk
Yep,
chocolate.
no, I definitely
yeah,
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep. It says on here in the notes it has a licorice finish. I don't get a lot of
I'm not
licorice.
I don't
catching- I'm not
either.
I
catching
don't.
licorice
I
either.
got more licorice on the first one than I got on
Definitely
this
more
one.
on that one, yeah.
Well, Nicole makes a Walla Walla Syrah, 100% Syrah that actually I think we tasted at the Nicole Winery Spotlight that we had, and it had a little bit of that the anise and licorice and that pops out on the back end of
Can
it
you
there.
tell the story of Nicole? It was actually
The
a
school, the school behind us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
for the migrant workers' kids that came to help clean.
Brian's voice is very knowledgeable. I don't
it's-
expect that out of him.
Yeah.
His brain.
Yeah.
Nobody. No, you know what's wonderful?
conscious.
Nobody does. So that's what That's what's so great about this is nobody expects it.
Actually, yeah. Tell the
Set the
Nicole
bar
story.
really low.
Brian
Set
just
the bar
start
really low.
going like this, like
And have
and
it
just
down.
and
Yeah.
We need the strings. Hold on.
Does anybody have bunny slippers on?
herbs on
Anyone?
the finish.
Anyone?
What type of herbs?
Bunny slippers?
No, that's good. Herbs in and of itself, getting that.
I feel like Tyler might have bunny
Yeah.
slippers on.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
On his,
I'm thinking
like,
more
In
like
ear.
nothing else.
Yeah.
Chewbacca slippers.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
He's-
Those aren't slippers. Those are just hairy feet.
I'm sure
Yeah.
these are very typical education classes.
Oh,
that
come on, man. I
professional-
mean, it doesn't have to all be,
Professional.
Master
Wait,
Som crap,
professionals?
I
What are
bet
those?
I
a little
bet
bit
Doug
of fun.
Frost is laughing his ass.
Oh, absolutely. Have him Skype in,
Yeah.
Zoom in,
Oh,
or
see, that would
whatever
be cool.
now it is.
There you go.
That's how ever since that class I took with him, Doug Frost is a master
just gonna-
sommelier and
yep.
a master a master sommelier and a master of
Master
wine.
Yep.
Yep, that we work with once in a while. I took a class from him, and I still explain the aging of port by the way that he taught it in the class.
Yeah.
Where it
Nice.
says, if you talk to a Portuguese winemaker and you say, it says a 10-year tawny, that means it's 10 years old. Not exactly. and he said basically you'll just ask him questions and he'll say not exactly over and over again. Doug is fantastic. One of these days, if we can ever get him up here for maybe
He
a
did-
big
he did a
tasting,
class for us.
yeah, if we can do something for
That would be fun.
customers,
Yeah.
I would highly recommend signing up for that.
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yes.
because there are people in the world that pay $500-600 just to sit
Yep.
for a couple of hours to
Yep.
listen to Doug
Yep,
talk.
yep. All right, we're moving into
Yeah.
the big leagues now, right?
I don't know. I like these pictures that we have of Washington.
That's
I like
Washington.
that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
beautiful.
that's super cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someday when we get to travel again. Hey, Laura, we'll get to travel again someday. I promise you. Keep posting those pictures.
So this slide I really, really like. It shows just how dry Eastern Washington can be. And when they're planting these vines, they're in this nutrient-deprived soil, which is so good for wine. When grapes have to strive and struggle, it concentrates the flavors, it lifts the aromatics, it makes it more complex. Like you were saying, this wine is just a very interesting wine. And when you drink a lot of wine, you look for interesting almost more than anything.
So this wine, what a wonderful segue. Nicely
Yeah.
done, Brian. If you have a white sofa, don't do this. But if you take a look at the color of this wine, and the deep
Yeah.
purple that this wine has, it is a
your sheet.
wonderful,
Yeah.
There you go.
wonderful wine.
You got your built-in white to
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, if you have white carpeting, don't do this either.
Agreed.
Yeah. Or do it. I mean, I
Unless-
don't. I
do
don't
it.
could.
I dare you.
Yeah.
Be chicken.
especially if the person next to you is telling you not to do it.
Oh, that's yeah, double dog dare you.
And Jen, if you're at somebody else's house doing this, do it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. If you're at George's house, do it. He won't care.
No, George wouldn't care.
No.
So there's a slide that just kind of made a quick appearance of the color of Syrah. This is going to be an
There it is.
There you
outlier
go.
that I will say. You'll look down on there and it'll say that the Northern Rhone is going to be a little bit lighter bodied. Saint-Joseph, which is where this wine is from, in general, those wines drink better when they're young. Part of it is, they ripen, they're designed, they're made to drink a little bit younger. They still will age, maybe not 30, 40 years in the way that some of the other regions in France will.
Yeah.
But these are usually really good right out of the bottle.
If you don't like this wine, we can no longer be friends. I'm just telling you right now.
You
Yeah,
can
he just
still
drew a
buy
line
from
in the
You can
sand.
still buy from
Yeah,
us, but I
yeah.
probably won't talk to you in the store. So.
Boy, Brian, you just drew a line in the sand there.
Oh, come on. Okay, I did. I put it out there. This wine's amazing. Comments on this one?
Definitely not as tannic.
Yeah.
Whereas this
This.
I've
This
got
is
a
this
holy
wine.
smokes, that's good. I appreciate that.
So
Yeah.
talk about your
Oh,
barbe-
Ashley's on.
Ashley! Hi, Ashley.
Cheers, Ash.
Yeah.
So talk about your wonderful barbecue wine. Chris Caranda was in, and he's doing some smoked ribs. Can you imagine this with some smoked ribs?
Yeah. Sorry, Aaron. I should have sold this one to you instead.
Yeah. I think they're busy doing other things, but can you imagine this with any smoked meats?
That would be
Or even
fantastic.
pulled pork or brisket.
Brisket.
Just-
That sounds so good right
yeah,
now.
little campfire thing going a little bit, It smells like cured meats.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling like that? What do you think? Talk to
You do not want.
you do
to-
not want
In
to
other
know.
words,
Yeah.
You
no,
do not.
Matt's saying cook for me, Brian.
Yeah.
You want to smoke some meat?
But man, I'll tell you what. Everybody like this one?
I do. This one is good.
Ashley, you're not tasting this one. Sorry.
Yeah, this
That
one
is-
is just so chewy. As Kyle said, no food needed. I mean,
Yeah.
this is just
Yeah.
so.
A little chill on this, though. I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
We're drinking it a little, in my opinion, a little warm.
Someone that just asked us to send over a bottle. So,
Yeah, well, so that's a wonderful little segue here. We normally would have a pre-sale sheet, and we actually sent a pre-sale sheet home with you. Shameless plug. Mrs. McGinnis put together a link that you can actually go online, and David Hinkle, if you want to order like 8-10 cases of each, just go ahead in there, and you can just go ahead and click on that, and then send it to us.
Yeah.
We'll get the order put together for you. Normally we do tastings on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which allows us to get wine in by Friday. Again, unless you're David, and we like to hold those wine for months. on
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
So
If
you
you-
just kind of tease him.
We'll
the
get
wines
the-
have been here for a long
The
time. You
Hess
just
will be
tell
here
him.
soon, I
The Hess will be
promise.
here, David. We
Yeah,
promise.
yeah.
But
We got to keep
all
them coming
kidding
in.
aside,
As will your magnums of
if
Catherine.
you're loving these wines, and I hope you are, and if you don't want to fuss with the online piece, you can give us a call too. But the wines will be here either Tuesday or Friday, depending on availability. But hope you're liking the wines. I'm certainly liking the wines.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
my wheelhouse.
I do want to put out a plug too for with this wine and with the Condru, one of our distributor partners, Best Case. When I talk to them about these wines, we don't always get sample bottles for these little higher end and expensive wines, and they are such wine lovers. I mean, Drew and Robert and Kelsey, they were just. I go, absolutely. We're gonna get you a sample bottle. That way you can share these
All over
wines
the
with
price.
people.
I mean,
Yeah.
$10 for this tasting tonight was
Yeah.
That's
pretty reasonable
Yeah.
tasting.
And
when
between
you're
that
considering
with-
you're
yeah.
tasting a $60-some bottle
Yeah,
of
these are fantastic
Rhone, and
wines.
so we're trying to be cognizant of that as well.
Yeah.
That these are tough times, but
Yeah.
tough time just doesn't mean we don't need to drink really
Yeah.
great
I mean,
wine.
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Well, and that's Syrah. I mean, our friend Jeff, which many of you know, have come to classes. It didn't make it onto the shipment earlier this week. I mean, the guy ran that case out to us, from Okoboji too. I mean, that was fantastic. Otherwise, I'd have had to just opened a second bottle of something
Yeah.
and drink it. But yeah. And I know we kind of get a little geeky about wines and where they're from and stuff. Sometimes, we have to reel ourselves back and think about, is this just an enjoyable wine? And from what you guys are saying, and kind of that's why Sarah's here too.
Yeah, because
just-
I'm the base. I'm
yeah.
the baseline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, since she's going to buy 6 or 8 wines for Ariel,
Yeah,
her
take
daughter
Ariel
home,
tonight.
right. Nice
I mean,
job. There's a big sale
I mean,
for
why
us right
wouldn't
there.
you? I mean, you're such a good mother.
Yeah.
I mean, you would. I don't understand why someone wouldn't take those home and
Yeah.
buy them tonight.
No pressure
So,
though.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. Well,
Next slide.
you guys are missing. She's missing all this because she had to take the dog out. He would not stop. She said she had to slam the last one, which is so sad because I really do enjoy this one.
Oh. So just a little bit, before we move on, we can drink some more too and stay on if anyone wants to just sit and chat for a while. But as you can see behind us, since we've transported now to the Rhone Valley, just how steep those vines are. Harvesting in the Rhone is not easy. You go someplace like Bordeaux, you can basically just put one person in a tractor and let them go through and
Yep.
harvest things. You go to Burgundy and several other places, it's much more difficult, but you can still, do it on, maybe a few people per acre. But literally in the Rhone, it takes one person for every 5 acres to harvest because they're hand harvesting. You can't go with any type of machinery in there. You have to walk through, and that's what makes these wines so interesting too. Is they don't have to pick them all at the same time. And if something does not look quite right because it's maybe been hanging behind another bunch,
Right.
they won't grab it. They'll go back through. And that's the amazing thing about so many of these winemakers is that, well, I'd say amazing thing, yes, they do have an attention to detail and quality, but many of them have owned this land for years. So they don't have the financial pressure to just churn out grapes and
Yeah.
sell and sell and
Yep.
sell. They own their land, and this
craft.
land is crazy expensive.
Well, it's a craft. It's something that
Yeah.
they've handed down from generation to generation. So that's something that, kind of the old world versus new world.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing another nice little segue is we didn't talk a whole lot about old world versus new world, and that this was the only old world in the Condru.
Yeah.
There's just a different complexity to an old world wine in my mind. Not that the Washington State and the Dierenberg from Australia weren't wonderful, but for me, you can definitely tell
Yeah.
the difference between old world and new world. There's a discernible flavor profile, and just a different texture, terroir, all of that stuff. So
I do think that with the
Illahee?
Illahee.
Yeah.
Illahee.
Illahee,
So it's
Viognier.
it's-
It's just fun to say. It's musical. Like-
So you've got kind of a marrying of old world
Yeah.
and new world together, because really, obviously Washington is technically new world, but they're bringing an old world style to the way that they do things, and I think that's really kind of cool.
I just caught a shot of my first time with this hat on. God damn, I look good with this
You
hat
do.
on.
You do.
You might
5
have
and 6 are the
just might have lost yourself a hat,
2,
mister.
5, and
Yeah.
6.
I look good with kangaroo on my head.
Yeah.
You don't hear
Yeah.
that every day.
Yeah.
You really don't.
And squishy kangaroo.
You know what? I'd love to
Squishy.
see you with a real kangaroo, like
Yeah.
a full kangaroo on your head.
Ooh,
Those red kangaroos are mean, man.
Yeah,
They're tough.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So
If you
everyone
ever-
liked this one? What? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
there.
it was
Oh,
a
I didn't mean to
kangaroo
touch you there
tangent.
either. That's not.
so,
That's
yeah.
probably not correct
Yeah,
either.
it's okay. I'll burn the shirt.
Yeah, that's
So,
okay.
yeah.
Everybody like this wine? Good?
I do.
Not
Well,
good?
mine's almost
Again,
gone, so,
remember
yes.
my thoughts. If you don't like the wine, we can no longer be
2 and
friends.
6.
What's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I really did like 3 though.
So we've got question time again.
Yeah, let's do a
So,
little question
yeah.
time, and then we'll wrap this up in the next couple minutes. We got a couple thoughts around.
Or if they're good questions, maybe we'll go
even
5 minutes.
we
10
might even go
minutes.
6 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything? Anyone?
Can we order online for these or need to call in? On your sheet that was in the little tasting kit that you took home. There's the one that has all the wines and the prices on them. At the top, you will see a little web address there. You can go right in there and you can place the order. If you would like, you're welcome to give us a call here at the shop. I'm happy to just take your order over the phone.
If you don't want to do that,
Yep.
it's kind of a nice way for.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to do is as much curbside as we possibly
Yeah,
can.
absolutely.
Bring it to your curb, to the curb in the car. But
This
Bring it-
curb,
not
not
this curb,
their
not your
curb.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
bringing it to your curb
Yes.
Yeah.
unless you're going to bring me a glass of wine or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, just it's like Santa, just leave it out.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Someone thinks this went way too fast. Yeah. It does seem
We
like
can stay
not
on
forever.
for a while if
we
you
didn't,
want.
We
This
didn't need
is
Cindy to
yeah.
shush people.
Here's something. Another nice segue there. If you felt like you needed more of this,
Yeah.
and who doesn't?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, 6:15, the three of us, happy hour. Some bitch. I've used that already tonight, though.
No,
I've
No,
used
you
some-
haven't.
I've
You
used
haven't
some
yet.
bitch.
No, you have
some
not.
bitch. So some bitch. We're gonna do this again tomorrow. So it's gonna be happy hour. Got some
Some
cool stuff.
bitch.
Remember, we always have a little snack theme. Tomorrow I got some fun dips that we're gonna do, and we're gonna do that black garlic molasses. We're gonna do some yuzu marmalade. Well, you don't get any, but Matt and I are gonna.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
We're gonna, you just don't get it.
I call
Sorry.
BS.
All right. But no, we're going to do a little happy hour tomorrow, 6:15. Have a couple cocktails. Make sure you stop in and grab your cocktails.
Someone still wants to be friends. They only like 1 and 2.
Oh, Jana.
One and-
Oh,
We miss you too, Jana.
So I want to do a little experiment.
Okay. Oh, what did I tell you about touching my head?
There we go. There we
Oh,
go.
my turn.
Oh, there you go.
So there we go.
I don't know. I think I rocked that thing a little bit.
No.
I don't know. You look good in it.
Yeah.
You look good.
Oh.
So we're going to keep this. We don't know when this is going to end, if it's ever going to end. So we're going to keep this thing going.
I think
We're going to
that
do.
in
We're going to
life.
do a blind tasting, which is going to be super cool because
yeah.
I think that sounds
you're
like
going
so
to go
much fun.
home with the wine.
And you're not going to know
But
what
tonight
they are.
we numbered them for you and
Yeah.
told you what you have. You ain't gonna know what it's gonna be.
You're
Well,
gonna
we're
get
gonna, we're still
numbers.
going to number them.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna number
them.
them.
We're
So
gonna
you gotta
number
know
'em.
which one you're tasting.
Well, we're gonna do a blind tasting in May, and it'll be fun. We're gonna send along maybe some notes about the what that wine should taste like.
Yeah.
So black cherry, all of the different
Yeah.
nuances around
Very
that
nice.
wine. We really want to do a double blind, and maybe we'll do that this fall, where we pour it into the glass, and the glass is dark, and we might pour a white
Sorry,
wine into
Leah.
that glass. So, what are you doing?
She knew the samples were bigger. So.
Yeah. But we're going to do a blind tasting in May. We're looking at doing a couple spotlight tastings as well. Klein is a wonderful partner
Yeah.
of ours, Klein and Jacuzzi. We're working on a Klein and Jacuzzi tasting as well, so be on the lookout for that. Again, back to my earlier conversations with everybody, we are reinventing ourselves every single day. These are uncharted waters. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll start doing this all the time. Maybe we'll start traveling to all these different. I never knew that I could be in
See
the
that?
Rhone right now.
Sarah on the Barbie. Yeah.
Barbie, wait, Barbie
Yeah.
Q or
Tasting
You're
wine.
on, yeah. You're an incredible typist
Yeah.
if you've been taking.
My daughter's
Dave.
on. My daughter's
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Alex is on.
oh, fantastic.
What's up, Alex?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey,
How
girl.
you doing?
So, sign up early. We for the blind tasting. Obviously, we did over 60 tonight. And thank you for that. That's friggin' amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, how many do we normally do on these tastings? 20
Well,
to
we
25, right?
We do
Between
two
the
nights,
two
so we'll
nights,
do
yeah.
2 nights. If it's filled,
Right.
it's 48. So one night 60.
Yeah.
So that's great. I mean, absolutely amazing. I'd like to get to 100.
Yeah.
I'd like to get to
We
200.
could easily do
I'd
that.
like to get 300. I don't care what
Yeah.
the number is.
Think about
I'd
that.
sleep when I'm dead, I guess. But
What?
Yeah.
God bless all of you. Just quickly, a shameless plug next door for the restaurant.
David
It's
is disruptive
disruptive.
even on virtual tasting. Yes, I agree, Rachel. But we still love David.
Shameless plug
Yeah.
next door.
Yes.
We need you next door too. The restaurant is not experiencing the same bit of love
Yeah.
that we seem to get over here. So I realize that takeout is you got to spread that love, but take out pizzas, take out burgers, crawlers.
mine. I
We have
got
the
my kit.
cocktails. We have that grilling kit that's closed, but we're gonna do something for Mother's Day. Just share your love over there too, because we need you. We love you over there.
Yeah.
And Jake's doing a great job. Derek's doing a great job.
Straight up, we're attractive. Obviously, the hat helps, but
Yeah,
I mean, we're
yeah.
we're a lot of fun and everything like that. But I mean, I look at Jake and the staff that they have over there. The back of the house.
Yes.
I mean,
Agreed.
in front of the, I mean, those people are just true, crafts people. I mean, they're amazing. And when I see those pizzas come out of there and the food that they make,
Yeah.
I'm flat out amazed.
Yeah.
And just support them. I mean, I still want my job, so come here too. But
Yes.
but please, I mean, they are fantastic people and just fantastic
Some fun
artisans.
cocktails over
Yeah.
there that we started
Oh yeah,
doing.
that Perry one that I chugged.
Crawlering.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, we might do some cocktails tomorrow. I don't know.
By the way, I got a little bit of FOMO when I watched you guys on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little.
But
bit
there's
of FOMO.
that Smoked Manhattan, that Perfect Pear, which is one of my favorite drinks in the whole wide world.
Smoked Maple Manhattan's my favorite.
We've got crawlering. We're crawlering some sangrias. We're crawlering some Moscow mules.
And some Lafroig 18.
Yeah. One of these
Only
times, I'm
if
just
you're
going to
Mac.
crawler that mofo and
He's-
just bring it over
he
here.
keeps trying.
$500 crawler of Lafroig 18 format.
Yes.
So
One of these days.
one of these.
He's trying to move the decimal
Yeah.
points over
Yeah.
a couple, but
Yeah. Lafroig 18
Well, it's gonna go
crawler.
bad.
Yeah.
right? Yes.
So, well, listen, we've taken up enough of your time, and frankly, you've taken up
Yeah.
enough of mine. Damn it! I was kidding.
It's
it was
because
a
of the
joke.
hat.
It's because of that. I don't have the hat on. So
Yeah.
Well, here, wait. Then
Yeah.
in that case,
You're not
you
as
can have it
affable.
back.
yeah. Well, I'm never affable.
So
Can I have
I
a hat
disagree.
back?
Well, no, I don't. Oh,
that's
wait a
exactly
minute.
what a kangaroo
Smells
Wait,
like-
smells
are you
like.
are you jealous of my mane?
Your mane smells like kangaroo.
Yeah.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Which is kangaroo.
All right, guys. Thanks for putting up with us.
Yep.
Continue to patronize. We can't do this without you. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow virtually, hopefully for some happy hour.
6:15?
Bring your 6:15. Bring
Yep.
your best game.
And I was not BSing. We do miss our people. So
We really do.
As soon
Except
as
for
we
a
can
couple of
hang
you,
out
and
with
you
you
know who
again.
you are.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Love you
Really,
guys.
The best they can hope for is to be tolerated, and we tolerate them.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you at the
Take
shop.
care.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
I thought that went well, except for you two. I thought
What?
I probably was
Yeah.
kind of the star.
Ah.
What about?
Don't you think?
I was waiting for the crazy train
That
to
was
just.
that was
I mean-
my thought.
I mean,
at least.
I think I really hold.
You're
this
right,
over-
boss.
What? Yeah.
You are the glue.
And
yeah.
you
the
know
glue.
what?
Is my
No one
review still
noticed that I didn't have
tomorrow?
any pants on, though. That was surprising to me. I couldn't
Oh,
believe it.
I noticed.
Well, you
Yeah.
two did, but nobody else
Yeah.
noticed. So
Yeah.
it's,
Good
it was
God.
kind of nice.
Oh,
so.
I do have pants on.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you had to
Thank
check,
goodness.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh.
I did have to get here
anyway,
sometime.
it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We should do that again sometime.
Or-